gonna take on the world.
All right. Welcome to the Third Eye Truth Theorem Podcast. This is episode 50. Number 50, guys.
Hey, we made half a milestone.
Halfway through to the 100th episode. We're
50?
getting there, guys.
50.
I am James Gill, your host. This is the Third Eye Truth Theorem Podcast. My co-host, Joe Hill. Once again, I keep calling him sidekick every now and then.
Yeah.
He gets a little upset. All right, guys, we got the original four back again.
What is it?
Back again.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. We got the
Fantastic
original four back again, man. This is amazing because without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Dana Hacker,
He says that a lot.
Eric Bradford, thank you guys for showing up again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Oh man, I've been looking forward to this.
It's about the only time I'm going to get those claps.
Yeah, you'll get one of those.
Unless you have an accident with a girl.
Yeah, you'll get a. So you'll get a.
I usually get this a lot. I usually get this a lot. That sucks.
Guys, welcome, man.
Thanks,
welcome back, man. This is something I've been looking forward to for the last 20 episodes.
Yeah, you've been talking about a lot.
A lot, yeah. 50 episodes, man.
That's
50
a lot,
episodes.
man. It's a long way.
Put a lot.
Oh man, I haven't even been here that much, and I feel the hard work.
Yeah,
I like the change. People think you just get up and you're popular, you get behind the camera and talk, and it's just so easy. But you put a lot of effort into it, both of you guys.
Hey,
you know?
thank you, man.
Yeah.
The evolution of the studio, it's magnificent in here.
You know,
Really
man.
digging
I
the
can't
Bruce
say
Lee over
that
there
enough.
too, man. By the way,
The what?
the Bruce Lee doll.
Oh yeah, no,
Bro,
dude,
that's
dude.
sweet.
Well, it hasn't lost its charm in all of this. You know, it's still got the signature of your persona and who you are and everything. And you know,
Dude, I tell you what, Joe, he's been a strong focal point in this, man. He's been putting a lot of work in behind the scenes, especially with getting the guests together and things of that nature. So we've got KT as well, but he's not here today. We got my friend
Exactly.
I was gonna say Kyle. I was thinking the last name Keegan.
Oh shit! We're doing a Larry.
No.
What was I saying?
No.
Cliff,
Zach, thank you, man. I appreciate you the last minute, man. Dude, love you to death, man. I appreciate your help, man. Guys, let's get into it, man.
Actually, I have a question for both of you guys.
Wait,
first.
let's
It's going to help with what's going
okay.
into it.
You want to jump into it now?
No, I'm like that. So my question is, since you guys kind of did your own thing on for the show, what are you guys doing now in your life?
Oh, me first. Nowadays I travel the Midwest and I fix surgical chairs.
You fix that's what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
I thought it was beds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, beds,
Yeah.
chairs,
Yeah,
whatever.
really?
Yeah.
Man of many talents.
Wow.
I kind of fell into it. Really,
Yeah.
I did. I was actually babysitting my granddaughter as a newborn. I'm a grandpa now.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
so you literally fell into a chair because you're a grandpa.
Pretty much.
Oh, God.
And,
Damn it, it's not working. I can fix this for you guys.
well, anyway, the wife, she's like, yeah, it's time, you know, because she does all right for herself, and she was basically paying all the bills, and she was like, yeah, we're running low on savings, whatever, time to get a job. I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool. I was ready to go anyways because
you better grow up.
Yeah, well, I was bored as shit, you know, honestly, you know. So I was like, well, all right. And so I just was on Indeed, man, and I sent in a few resumes, and they called me up, and they're like, hey, we saw you got technical experience.
Yeah,
all
I was
this,
going to
all
say
that.
that.
Yeah.
Because
I was, you know, all the technical stuff I've done over the years and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then they offered me a job, and they're actually based out of North Carolina.
Oh, really?
So I flew down to North Carolina, did a little bit of training, came back, actually worked at a factory for them. The factory, it's actually Champion Manufacturing. They bought another chair company, which had bought the company I work for. So I was actually working in that factory doing little things and stuff, basically learning about the chairs and stuff like that. And then was going out a couple days a week, and then my schedule got busier and busier. So I was all over. I mean, I go to like last week I was at the Mayo Clinic. I'll be probably flying out to LA to help a guy out. They send me pretty much everywhere, man. Yeah.
Good for you.
I was actually in Washington DC when the bridge.
Oh no shit!
Really?
No shit.
Yeah. I was leaving. I had crossed that bridge probably 10 times.
Just crossed the bridge or something?
Probably 30 to 40 minutes before.
What?
Suspect number one.
Yeah, on my way to the airport. Yeah, true story.
Fuck.
Yeah. And and I get a text, "You okay? Is everything okay?" I'm like, "I'm on an airplane." They're like, "Oh, okay."
Good.
I was like, "Why? What happened?" They're like, "Well, a ship ran into a bridge and knocked the bridge." And then I saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I crossed that bridge like over and over, going all over," because I was like working at Georgetown and just a bunch of places. And I was like, "Wow, man, that's kind of crazy, And
holy shit.
Yeah. I felt very fortunate that I wasn't.
Yeah, definitely.
And thankfully, the guys, the police or whoever it was, closed the bridge off.
Yeah.
Before it happened.
they did.
Yeah. And unfortunately, some construction workers died because they were working on the bridge. Yep. And they had it seemed like they had 2 lanes closed. It was either 1 or 2 lanes closed, and they were working on the bridge doing repairs and everything. They were trying to fix it. Well, now they got to build a new bridge. So
yeah,
that's gonna take.
And they said it's going to take like 4 or 5 years to build it.
No shit.
I talked to one of my guys out there who works out there, and he's like, "Yeah, man, it adds like another hour to an hour and a half to go around because that bridge isn't anymore." Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Wow.
Wow, dude. Glad I'm not there.
Wow.
That's kind of cool how you fell into that job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually did. It's like, what's funny is like, in the 3 years that I've been there, I've become like the number one guy. I'm the answer guy. Even, like
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like any of the other guys, there's like 14 other guys that we all work around the country or all over the country, mostly on the East Coast. I cover the whole Midwest pretty much. I just trained a guy from St. Louis. And then I got a guy out in LA. I got a guy in Denver. I got a guy in Dallas. We're getting ready to hire somebody in Phoenix, another guy in LA, really Seattle. Weird. Yeah. And I'm going to be training all these guys. And I get calls from like everybody every day asking me questions about certain things when it comes to the chair or the bed or whatever it is that I'm working on. And even like the company itself will call me sometimes and say, "Hey, we got a question, perhaps you can answer, blah, blah, blah." And I always got an answer. I mean, it's not rocket science. So it's,
yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually like it a lot.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And the beauty of it, it's only 4 days a week usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't beat that, man.
4-day work week.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Sometimes a Friday, like for a few hours. But generally,
It's because of the traveling.
Yeah. And like I'll put in like sometimes 18-20 hours a day. Yeah. Like my Mondays are always long because it's like I'll have to drive, say, to Kansas City, and then from there I have to go to Nebraska, and then from there to Iowa, and maybe a stop in Minnesota or whatever, And I sometimes I'll drive for 8 hours to work for 5 minutes. Seriously. Really? Yeah. That's because they can't figure it out, whatever. I go in there, I'm like, "Oh, well, here's a problem, blah, 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 done. All right, have a good one," and that's it.
Yeah, out of there.
Yeah. It's wonderful, really, And I like to drive, and I've seen a lot of the country. I take pictures everywhere I go, all that stuff. I got great pictures, man. I got some really good pictures.
I got that song.
No,
traveling.
Speaking of traveling, I saw you and the wife in France.
Yeah. We went to London and to Paris. Yeah. London was cool. I liked London. Everybody was pretty friendly there.
Yeah.
It was actually really nice. A lot of walking.
Oh, that place is huge.
Yeah.
This is huge.
I don't think I can handle the driving over there.
Oh, you probably
it's opposite.
You're better off walking. You are
getting a cab or something like
that.
Yeah,
and even the cab. Sometimes you're even better off walking than taking a cab.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. It's like just so much traffic. I mean, there's 11 million people in London, so it's
bigger than New York.
Yeah, and but that was cool. Paris was actually fun too. The food, man. Oh,
I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, it's the cool thing about it is like you got, if you want bread, you go to the bread store. If you want cheese, you go to the cheese store, the fromagerie. If you want wine, you go to the wine store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all fresh bread every day. They got laws about it and stuff. So it's
unlike the United States.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the funny thing is like I'm kind of a little lactose intolerant, but not over there.
Dude.
I don't know what they do, but I mean, it's just better food. It really is.
Yeah. Well,
process.
Not processed foods,
exactly.
anything like that. Yeah. So or even the chemicals they put in the food, or whatever it is,
preservatives, things like that.
Things of that nature.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Very good.
Dude,
very good.
You had a smile on your face when I saw the pictures.
Oh yeah. I had a blast,
That's
man.
good,
I mean, one cool thing about Paris was I was there once a year. They do they turn the Eiffel Tower pink for breast cancer awareness. I just happened to get there that day and got to witness, got pictures, all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. And we thought, it's going to be for the whole month of October or whatever. That's what we thought anyways. Right. And then the next night it was back to its normal color. I'm like, oh, okay. And then my wife, she looked up, she said, no, they only do it one night a year. I'm like, oh,
it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was very cool.
That's cool.
Super cool. I'm like, man, wow. But I would recommend everybody travel out of the country.
Yeah.
It is very, very enlightening to what we have to deal with in this country.
So, whose bucket list was it to go to Paris or France? Yours or your wife's?
It was both of ours.
Both?
Yeah. And we're talking of going to Italy in the next either. We were talking about maybe going next year, but I think we're going to go in like a couple years because our grandkids are going. We're all going out to Disneyland next year and all that.
You guys do that a lot.
We're
you guys
Disney adults, man.
You guys do that a lot. Eric, what's going on in your life, brother?
I gotta follow this.
You're the one who
said
me first.
You said
first. Live vicariously through you.
He said, "Shit, I like your story better. Tell another one."
Way better. No, I'm more like reading Rainbow. I gotta look at a book. I can use my imagination.
You can just paint it though.
Yeah, that is true. I can live in my own world. No, I haven't been able to travel or anything, but it is true. I mean, America kind of lives in we're like one giant echo chamber, full of chemicals, and chemtrails and shit. No, that's awesome though.
Thanks,
I mean, it sounds like a good gig. Myself, I haven't left the area, but I have gone all in on the art career.
That's awesome for you, though.
I think at the time I had a studio at the mall while it was like on the
downward spiral.
I think it's a constant like draining toilet. It still is. Like they still open it up for the mall walkers, from what I understand. I've heard through the grapevine. But since then, since 2002, I've been renting an office over at 505 Pleasant. We're the old czars. Shout out to the past, but currently Nardo's is downstairs and shoes and everything. I'm on the 4th floor. A little more modest as far as space, but I'm in the heart of a downtown area now, and I don't have the dark cloud of like depression that is
the Orchard Mall.
Am I going to be able to get my shit out?
Is the roof leaking on, or is it just the water break?
No, I think it was just a sprinkler system, bro. Roof is solid though. Roof is solid. It was like, oh man, I felt like the Seagull King when I was here too. Like,
damn, there's birds inside now.
It is
outside. You ever been out?
Yeah.
No, dude, that is crazy.
Oh man, Like in every year, it gets. And no offense to the press in the area, you're an ally with Pat Moody now, so be careful about how they sell it. But every year, around July, August, they talk like they found this miraculous way to get rid of the seagulls. Like, oh, the seagulls are gone, and so everything's gonna be great. It's like it's called migration, guys. No one poisoned the birds. It's like. That it's the same smell as June when they were shitting all over. It would smell a lot different if people were.
It's not like the mall was open or anything. Let the birds go somewhere. They don't care.
I mean, let them open up stores. I mean, I saw they're pretty intelligent animals. Oh God, but the way they treat their young, like it's horrible. No wonder they turn into assholes. When they're they're fighting their kids for the few grains of food that are out there. It's horrible.
Are we still talking about birds?
Yeah.
I was making sure what we're talking about for a minute.
Well, I'm trying to.
I'm thinking of what you're
think
putting
of
down.
something interesting to talk about. I think they're from Paris. I'm trying to compete with Danny.
I'll let you compete with them. How about this? I'll let you compete with them. What's your next projects that you have maybe in line, since you do most of the murals around the area? You had your murals up. They're all over. I mean, I
got a few around.
You are a very talented man.
I appreciate that. No, and it's been a good year, actually. I got to do a portrait that was part of the United Civic Monument Project, and they just did the unveiling of the statues. I got to meet Martin Luther King III, shake hands with him, and I saw that on the march.
Did you have pictures of that on Facebook?
Yeah, I posted one, and then we just kind of posted, because I also work for the Benton Spirit. I started off where she's a client and I was doing production, but now I do a little more writing and a little more coverage, and and that's a good gig. It kind of got me back in media, finger on the pulse to what's going on in the area. But that kind of pop up Bill Clinton rally that came I got to shake hands with Bill.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, a little hand sanitizer afterwards. No, but it's cool to be. It's like, watch out if you're wearing a blue dress. No, I got jokes, but he was a cool guy. Like, honestly, and like part politician, but he was pretty genuine. He walked the whole front row and back, shaking hands and people talking to him. And I know it's their job, but it's interesting when you see them take the time with the public and everything, aside from politics, because I don't care who it is. It's like, I mean, you got to do a lot of things right to become president, or to, it's like anything else. It's a lot of work to get there and everything. So, and I'm not a celebrity hound, but it is cool to have a life where you're meeting some of these people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing, as far as that goes. But these opportunities come up, and this area is,
getting better.
It is. There's a lot going on. A lot of people, behind the scenes putting into work, and it's a good area to be in right now. A lot has changed. It's opened up. We're not as isolated as we were 25, 30 years ago. And there's a lot of potential. There's a lot to be optimistic about around here.
Yeah.
And even for a starving artist like myself, got a lot of good artists, good opportunities. Downtown Benton Harbor, is improving. There's a lot going on. Yeah. So,
the murals up there are just, when we went and did our photo shoot,
senior class pictures.
Our senior class photo shoot for the podcast. We walked around with KT.
I made Joe do that.
Yeah, he made me get all dressed up. I said, dude, are you asking me to prom?
You have flip flops on. What are you talking about?
I said, you asked me to prom? I said, what is this for? He said, at least wear a collared shirt.
So, do I have to wear pants?
Actually, because I was wearing shorts. I wear shorts all the time.
And you wear flip flops.
Yeah. So
you gotta represent, man.
I said, nice. It's a podcast, man. People see us how we are. And he said, no, we got to dress up for this.
I didn't say dress. I was dress
Casual.
casual.
So I said, all right, I do casual. So then we're walking around and
You make it sound like I'm
I'm
wearing
wearing
a suit and tie, you
we're
motherfucker.
walking around and all of a sudden KT says, yeah, just stand against the old State Theater and pose and
So you
just
put your
stand
arm
there.
right here.
Put your arm right here. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm back in my senior pictures. And then James, coming up next to me and puts his arm on my shoulder. Yeah,
No,
hey.
I did not.
Then we're leaning against the wall of the State Theater with arms crossed, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
G'd up from the feet
Yeah,
up.
pretty much.
It's just the pictures should be very
they're
fun.
gonna
They're gonna post them all up.
Look for it on your first album, right?
Yeah.
Album covers.
Album cover. It's gonna be on our new Facebook page that we created for this.
Just for this, yeah.
Nice.
So it's
No, hey, you know,
You make it sound like we were holding hands.
Dude.
Oh, you weren't?
no. Then we started walking
I
around.
was gonna say,
Then we started walking around. We saw the murals, and
you guys
there's
do
a
different
lot of murals
poses, right?
downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of-
Okay, I was gonna say.
There's it's definitely a lot of murals.
I'll do a photo shoot, but we gotta do something besides hold hands.
That's what he made it sound like. We were holding hands or something.
Hey, I'm comfortable with my sex. We're men. We're heteros. Not that there's anything wrong with not being.
It felt weird though. After a while, we were telling now we're really walking around and looking at all the murals and looking at all the stuff and taking pictures next to them.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
really did nice. I mean, it was a nice, just to
nice,
look around.
nice little 45-minute thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, KT did an awesome job with the
Yeah,
pictures.
he did.
Granted, since I haven't seen them yet.
Well,
but
he keeps. Yeah, he's putting them together. So
yeah,
it's work in progress.
I'm looking at you, KT. Yes, you.
You're looking at the camera.
Yes.
Get that shit done, man.
No.
I didn't even see this picture.
Now, Joe, I'm gonna hit you with this first before you can hit any of us and do like an inappropriate or cross the lines into our personal life. Well, no,
I'm not gonna ask you.
I was gonna say you have an artist in the family.
Yes, my daughter. Yes.
Yeah, we were just at the Crazzle not too long ago and part of the community members shows. So
That's what that was.
yeah, I think that's what it's called.
I got
I
invited by
just
her.
show up, you know. Like, they hang my shit on the walls, and I show up, and I'm here.
Yeah, my daughter said, "Hey, Dad, I have a show at the Crazzle, and I would love you to go to it." I said, "All right, yeah, I'm definitely going to support your artwork." And she said, "This is about my third show. I haven't told you about the other ones in Milwaukee because that's where she's going to school at."
Oh.
And I went, "All right, cool." I said, "I'm still going to your biggest ones in May." And so from there, I went there, saw her artwork. She was selling it for $75. Don't know if it ever got sold, but her median for that was screen printing. But she did it out of metal.
Oh, really?
The main work was out of metal. The piece that she showed was the printing.
Oh,
so she was telling me about how she did it. She's now learning how to use metal for screen printing. She welded. She did all this stuff
wow.
at college, and she said it was really a lot of work. And then she made a print of it, and she said, "No, my next big piece is I'm doing it out of wood." And she's now carving with wood, and they're teaching her how to do all that stuff up there, dude. It's really
Nice.
she's very talented.
It was pretty well done.
Yes.
Well, and that's kind of, I know it's your show, but it's like this was kind of a segue to talk about like some of the opportunities that are here, since we were talking about the area being different. There's so much for younger people to get into and opportunities to get things out there than we had when we were kids.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, so if you're out there,
that.
you know, always keep your ear to the ground out there, you know, for your kids and for, you know, keep them busy with this stuff. Take advantage of it, you know, because there's a lot of talent in the area, you know, and that's an example of it.
We had him on, Nicholas Gunn. You know,
Nick Gunn.
Yeah. I mean, he's part of the Ben Harbor Spirit, and dude, that man's phenomenal. The age that he started it all at.
Yeah.
Dude, he blew us away. He blew us away. We had him on twice. And the second time we had him on, we talked about his life, and he has his own blog podcast for food.
Right. Nick Eats.
Yeah. Nick Eats. Yep. And he goes around to local areas and eats and everything else. And dude, he's phenomenal. And all his stuff from 16 or 17 to now blew us out of the water, thinking, damn, I shouldn't have did drugs and alcohol and everything else in my life. I should have done some of this shit.
Well, and all he did was just jump into these things, like being present, and that's what's pretty impressive. And getting experience and everything, it speaks volumes. It's like you don't necessarily have to go, formal. There's never, I guess, a right time. Kind of the way you dove into the podcast. It's like there's never the perfect time to do something. You just have to have the ambition and just go for it.
And, well, what the way we found out of it, Joe told me about the situation that happened. It's unfortunate that it happened that way because he was just doing a nice photography for the art fair.
Mm-hmm.
And this one incident where guy was just being rude to him. I mean, racially rude to him.
And bombs.
And it was on the news.
Yeah.
So they got the guy banned for life from the art fair. And when I saw that, I said, we got to get this guy on.
Right.
And we got him on. And this guy, he was what? 18, 19?
He was 18.
18?
18, yeah. Around.
Well-spoken, man. Just like did a ton of stuff for the community. Very active. And I was like, man,
church, pastor.
Can you imagine us? I mean, any one of us being that active in the community.
Oh, hell.
Doing things of that nature. We were all active in the community.
I was active in the community.
Some way or another.
I'm glad there was no social media back then.
Exactly.
Well, and that's something I encouraged him, being young and everything. He's still young, that's why he's a good kid. But I told him, man, just stay busy doing what you're doing. Don't get pulled off into all of these things your friends are doing, to like carry yourself the way you are, man. Don't ever feel, pressured to represent any ideas, walk your own walk, I don't know if he took my advice or not, but he's a good representation of a lot of the good youth we have in this area too, and the difference with him, and he's had a lot of mentor help, like any young person.
I'm sure his dad was part of it. I didn't know his dad. I mean, I know his dad. I've known his dad for a long time, Curtis Gunn, and he's like a big instrumental part in his life where he's going to be. I mean, he looks up to his dad. And his dad has done great stuff too. So it was just
well, and I got to shout out my client too. Princella Tobias did a lot. He's running for Mr. Benton Harbor and all of that while he, and doing all of that. And it's spurred into. But I gotta give him his credit too. He didn't just keep himself limited. When there were new opportunities, he stepped into some roles and. Good kid, man. Good kid.
So I got a question for you, James.
Go ahead. I'm an open book.
I know. So my question actually is to you. Since how many years have we? 2, 3 years, 4 years we've been doing this? Off and on.
Well,
4 years ago.
It started 4 years ago, so, 2020.
4 years ago, how did you handpick every one of us?
Well, me and Dana. No, here's the thing.
I want to hear the story. How did you figure out you want to do a podcast?
It's a good story.
Me and Dana,
let people
just talk.
Let people know this.
Set us down.
Let people know this.
Talk.
It's our 50th show.
Me and Dana were talking about this down at Czars after a night of karaoke.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I was like, man, I really want to start a podcast. We started brainstorming on the name. I was like, third eye. He said, how about Third Eye Truth Theorem? I was like, you know what? That's a catchy. That has a catchy ring to it. And so from that point on,
we know you hate it.
It's not that. It's too damn long. It's hard to explain to people.
Well, I mean, it's a mix between
SouthwestMichiganJobs.com kind of way.
Right. It's a mix
hard to
between
explain it.
truth serum, truth theory, truth theorem.
I know he hates when I had that.
So here's the funny thing about Joe. I had like, Joe put something on Facebook. He spelled Third Eye Truth Theorem wrong 5 times.
I did
5 fucking times.
Because I kept on copying and pasting.
He spelled I wrong.
I kept copying and pasting. Then it autocorrected for me. Then it kept an autocorrect for me. I'm like, shit.
I was like, dude, you don't need to learn. Don't use auto. No.
Hey, go back to the damn story. Don't go back.
How many URLs did you have to buy before you got it?
Get back on the fucking story. Get back on that fucking story.
All right. So he doesn't
Get off me.
Anyway, but that was the whole premise of it. And then I started getting all the stuff together, all the components that we needed. And we started from there. And then I thought about Eric instantly.
Yeah.
Because he has the mind outside of what we were actually thinking about. I mean, as far as politics and things of that nature, anything that's going on in the world, he was very into it, in tune with it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Eric's definitely good. And Joe,
yeah,
you just drank a lot of Fireball.
back then it was
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs.
But no,
actually,
I knew you would be a good part of it too. So I mean, just your
damn. I'm the goofy motherfucker. Damn
I think Merlin the magician drank a lot of Jaeger.
I'm the goofy one that's gonna make everybody laugh.
Life backwards.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. We got the guy that thought of the name. We have the guy that's great on politics.
Oh,
and I'm the goofy motherfucker.
No, not necessarily, but
no, you're the Merlin.
You are the devil's advocate, is what you are.
Yeah, I knew you know a lot of different people too.
Definitely.
As far as
Yes.
what you've been doing lately has blown my mind. And dude, it's like, James, I got this person that wants to get on.
That's cool.
And he's always out. He has a gift for gab.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's always out in the public. And he's there. He's the wine tasting, doing all kinds of stuff in the area. So I'm like, man, Joe will be good with this too. And that's how it formulated the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Oh, the Four Horsemen. That's
nice.
That's a football reference. Good job.
I know.
Good job.
I know.
I'm not riding a fucking horse though.
That's okay, though.
I'm on the fucking pale horse, man. Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, I love it. I'm a Metallica guy. Matter of fact, hold on.
Oh shit! He's taking clothes off.
I came prepared for this, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like Superman. Yeah.
The horsemen are
Now that
joined
you
here.
mentioned Metallica, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Hell yeah. But that's the way I formulated it, and it worked out. It was great, man. It was great chemistry that we had.
We did.
We spent a lot of
time,
weeks too, man,
yeah.
talking till 5 a.m, man.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
A lot.
Especially in the driveway.
Well, no,
that's for sure.
And that's the thing.
We did a lot.
Because Joe was a skilled drinker, so he was there all the time. But
Damn, you sound like I'm an alcoholic.
I was pretty good at it too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we were always there, and that's the thing. We would be there pretty late at night. I'd be doing Superbook or whatever for Tom.
Yeah.
You know, we were already doing it, the podcast more or less, because we
just
like
without
you
the
said,
cameras and the mics.
We'd be talking till 4 or 5 in the morning, you know, and just about whatever was going on in the moment.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
you know, it was happening anyways. So just
make it public.
Those were the good days.
They were fun.
Those were the fun days.
I'd like to note to my PO that I'm not drinking today.
He's got a big one. He's got a big
Damn.
This is not a Ninja Coffee. I'm following the rules.
He's watching?
I'll take my breathalyzer later. You know.
At least he's watching.
Be all good. I'm an open book too, James.
He says, to my PO.
Drink responsibly.
Hey, that's why I walked.
Oh man.
That's why I have a 625G permit.
There you go.
At least you got something.
But I've always, after the first year that we started, 2020,
Those were up days.
there was no dude. Man, remember those days we were sitting here and COVID hit? And,
Yeah, you weren't
Right.
sitting there. You
I was
were sitting
over
there.
I was sitting over there.
And then
I was
you were
over-
sitting there.
Yep.
And you were
It's like
next to me.
You need a Tommy Lee drum platform now so we can rotate it back to the past.
I'm in the same spot.
Yeah, Joe hasn't moved from that
Joe
spot.
hasn't.
Same spot since day one.
Oh man.
No, it was just a flashback. It's like, man, this place was like so different back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So different.
You have different mics, different chairs,
Different everything, dude.
soundboard. Yeah.
It goes to show that dedication to this whole thing has been I mean, it's been one of my focal points,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where I can look back and be appreciative of all the things I've done and accomplished with this, even though I wasn't doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Joe put me back.
Suck at this.
Huh? Yeah, don't get me started. Stop. I'll be going off on a different road. Stop. Vampire.
Honeymoon's over.
Yeah. Damn succubus. Stop, Joe.
You're sleeping on the couch tonight.
But after all that, it's like, man, okay, we've turned this totally around.
Literally, you're sitting over there.
Made
now.
this,
Yeah.
made this, yeah, exactly. You're right. I've made this something that people in the area started to look at.
Yeah.
Starting to look at. And it's scary to me at some points. But this is what we talked about.
It is.
This
This
is
is
what we
exactly
talked-
what we
exactly
talked
what we talked
about.
about.
Right.
We talked about, we had visions of this.
Absolutely.
Visions of this happening. And it's happening. It's like coming to fruition. So I'm so excited about the future. Next year is going to be, I think it's going to be huge.
Oh, I think so too.
Because we just started right in the middle of this year, getting everything into play, and all the people into play, all the guests that we have, everything started falling in place.
It's awesome. That is
Good
super
feeling.
awesome.
Actually, I'm just gonna say it like this, and I might get sentimental on this one.
Oh.
It's through the people that love who you are.
Based
I'm not
on the
saying-
incredible true story.
Go ahead, Joe. I've been waiting to use that button.
It's not it's based on pretty much, it's based on the people in this town that know who you are and love your vision with you. It's not who I get. They're our friends, but it's the people that believe and that come on the show
Yeah.
that believe on what you're doing, because we're not just talking and bullshit and everything else. Yeah, we might have those shows that we do that.
That's
But
so much fun.
I know, but we have people that are coming on the show that want to see themselves succeed, and they want you to
Yeah.
succeed. Even though we're a small town podcast
Mhm.
right now, they're doing it because they want to see you achieve your dream.
I like that idea. But I know I have a lot of work to do. A lot of things that I have to cover.
We have to. I mean, nothing's perfect.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
always
right.
we're only at. If I had to do a grade, we're only at 5 right now. We're only at 5. We're trying to do to 10, but
Yeah.
we never want to succeed to 10, because then where are we going to go from there?
Yeah, then you
Yeah,
get complacent.
Yeah.
Very complacent.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to
Stagnant.
be So we're always achieving our next goal. Our next goal is 2 shows a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then from there, to see how that goes, and see how that
This is
year
why I
goes.
say next year is going to be huge, because if we're doing 2 shows a week, right,
That's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. But this type of shit is always going to be a lot of work,
Oh yeah.
because you have to
sure.
stay fresh. You always have to have new content, always have new ideas, new guests, and you can't just do the same thing over and over again,
Right.
because it gets old.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think not to cut in, but just that's where, your own personality comes into play. Because, I mean, we see it with a lot of podcasts. I'm sure we all get our fair share of media, YouTube channels and all of that. And a lot of those get stale. It's like even post-election, a lot of these channels had nothing to talk about once the drama was over.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're, and not to call them one-trick ponies, but you were mentioning, new content and keeping things fresh. And we have an exciting world. It's never short of content. And I said I was going to mention this, like we had the issue with the last episode I was on, and we did the one recording like we were talking about before we started this episode. And in those few days where we rescheduled and did the new one, we had what was I say? We had an assassination attempt happen. We had like Joe Biden drop out.
Yeah.
Oh, within like a week and
Yeah,
couple
that's
weeks
crazy.
and whatever it was. Trump's ear healed up in 4 days. Like all kinds of
Instantly
shit.
grew back.
Yeah,
The missing piece is still is gone now. It's there.
Fulfilled the prophecy that when I painted him as a lizard person. So, it's like, hey,
I regenerated his ear.
I have a third eye and a sixth sense. I'm an artist. What can I say?
Oh, he said third eye.
But my disclaimer, I don't know what's going to happen. I just happen to be right a lot. But no, but that's where, character and personality meets this crazy world we live in, because it's almost like the craziness is normalized, but all, just naturally presenting it your way, and like Joe mentioned, our area is dynamic in itself. We live, to me, in one of the most dynamic places in the world. We don't give ourselves enough credit.
Yeah.
We have a lot of talented people, powerful people, dare I say. A Fortune 500 company. We got, so many industries that run through here. We have a really cool tourist area and attraction. We have Lake Michigan, which we take for granted. We're almost not even as in awe of Lake Michigan as we should be. Right. It's like a gem in our backyard.
Yeah.
We really got it great here. And, and you mix all that together. It's just, all you got to do is keep rolling, man. I mean, a lot of it is, when you're doing something like that, it's perseverance and you put in the work, but a lot of it is just unplanned. I know with Ground Effect, we didn't plan for our band to do the things we did. We just, we were just 5 guys, any given 5 dudes, and people jumped on board. The same thing you were saying, just, they wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to see it succeed, and they were huge in what we had going on. But then, rubber meets the road, and we're going out, and everybody's coming out, and they become part of the essence of, the center point of what you're creating too. And it's cool. You can't plan that.
I like that. I like that. Because actually Ground Effect this time of the year always makes me think of Ground Effect, because you guys always did the Toys for Tots thing, and you gave out to everything else around this area. And that was a great feeling when you always did that.
Well, and that's like, and it goes into, even what I was saying too, like you're giving out, and we weren't doing that to,
you weren't,
for any other reason. But then that's where all these partnerships and these, kind of teamings up of people and groups and everything come together and make something good even better. I just ran into Tom Woltman, who he's the one who dresses as Santa and rides the motorcycle and leads the fire trucks and everything for the Toys for Tots. And that was one of those unplanned things. We were just doing the shows, and we met him, and he's like, shit, yeah, we're on board. And then their whole crew and clique of people merged with what we were doing, and we were just a small part of something bigger at that point. But that's how things grow, and it's supporting one another. And we are a small area, so it goes a long ways.
When's the band getting back together?
Oh, shit. We've talked about remastering some things. I don't want to jinx anything. We haven't talked about anything concrete, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we decide to celebrate what would be our 20-year anniversary. I say, like with the band, we never dismantled the band. We were kind of like Forrest Gump. When he stopped,
where
are you going with this? Where are you going with this?
When he stopped running, he said, "I'm going home now." That's just, we played like our last official show in Paw Paw.
Yeah, I was there.
And then we did the reunion show in rest his soul, Ryan Price passed away.
Yeah.
We were already planning on doing like a reunion show with 3 or 4 of the local bands. I think it was Ingrid Cole, Jefferson Hill was going to get back together.
I remember those bands down the Zahars.
Yeah. Well, and it was before Rhino passed away.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's so that it became a tribute. So kind of bittersweet for that too, because I think that happened in October. But it just that's all I got to say about that. But
he got Joed.
but I wanted to shout Rhino out because I know we all knew them guys, and it's another chapter for all of us. That we're a part of it. Not just the band, but our younger days, and all of us getting together in a different aspect. And we go back quite a long ways, even before the podcast.
Definitely.
We all have, actually. We all have stories about each other and everything else out there that we're gonna keep in our vault.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was gonna say me and James have known each other for like
It's why I'm
35
sober
years or
today.
something like that.
Shit, I know him since he when he was working at places, even before the restaurants.
yeah. Dude,
I knew him
Yeah.
before he.
yeah, I even
Yeah.
came over to St. Joe.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've known
dude,
each other
yeah,
since
yeah.
we were teenagers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Young bucks.
Oh, look at you guys. Old fucks.
Hey, and I've got to
Matter
shout
of fact,
this
we're
one
the
out.
same, damn near the same age.
We're
I
both
mean,
51.
yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
52 next month.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they don't paint
He
over it
forgets
after I
his
say
birthday.
this, but I
No, I
left
don't. I just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
well, I left
Not
a
at this
permanent
age.
mark for James down in what is now Nardo's.
Yep. Yeah.
I did the James Thanos.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still
People
there.
ask me about that too,
Yeah.
man.
It's still there.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
still there. James, I see your picture up down Nardo's.
yeah.
The gauntlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
The stones.
Yeah.
Drinks coming out.
Well, it's crazy because I did all that. And let's get it back to like the start of the podcast because that was about the time that COVID hit.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
when this started up, we didn't know it was going to be locked down and all of this. It was
No.
just kind of like a growing, and no matter if you believe it to be a conspiracy or whatever, but there's this, disease running around the world starting to kill people. And it's like, holy shit, this is getting real,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it almost felt like a crime to come to the studio after a couple
Dude, I
months.
know.
It's
Fuck,
like,
we
were-
still came to the studio.
we were
What are you
sneak-
talking about?
We were sneaking
Is
in
it-
and
is it really going to be martial law? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I guess.
That's when he was recording this shit.
yeah.
He's got all the archives on him.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
still on
got-
my computer. I have them on a flash drive,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah, he's got them all on archives.
Nice.
All
Yeah.
the shit we talked about.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah, those are
interesting
the
days.
those are the interesting. Yeah, that's
So
It's like when you pull out the old, cassettes for when you're 5. You're like,
No.
oh God, what the fuck
He's
are
gonna
we
be-
doing?
he's gonna be
voice sounded like
he's gonna be like Tupac and say, "Oh, this is back in the day that I had this."
the lost episodes.
Right.
I have
Oh,
15
maybe
other
we don't need
CDs
to
I can
do
make.
The lost episodes. Bottles of liquor being
Oh,
used
God.
and yeah, about that.
Oh, those are
Sneaking, yeah, it was sneaking around. It's almost like you like sneaking out of your parents' house.
you couldn't be on the ground. You couldn't be, you
And
couldn't be this close to
There's
everybody.
a curfew in the streets for the kids.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I was actually out all the time.
I was too.
I was
Yeah.
working.
Yeah,
I was
you-
going into people's
Yeah.
houses and everything else.
My
man.
job
That's
never
right.
closed.
You
Yeah,
were-
my
you
job
were-
never
you were-
closed.
Dish, yeah.
Yeah, my job never closed either.
Oh no,
Mine did. I was
I
like,
probably got more work because
I
of it because everybody had to stay home. So it's like, oh, I gotta have TV. Ugh.
The funny thing is, he still had this place. We were still doing shows on this place, and this man still fought through it. Now
Yeah,
look, now
dude.
look at us. Now look at this.
dude, I was
Yeah.
I was
50th
scraping
show.
by
50.
seriously, by the skin of my teeth. I was scraping to keep this place going.
Yeah.
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 It was at a point where I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Then everything opened up again. I was like,
Right, I can breathe again.
oh man.
You know
I was
what?
coming for water from out of water.
COVID revealed the character of a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yes,
no,
it
yeah.
really did.
Fuck yeah.
It definitely showed the true fight that people would have going through that diversity and
Mhm.
things of that probably the weaker mind would like collapse and not be able to recover from.
Well, I think people actually, a lot of true colors came out and everything, but actually, what I've gathered from the COVID, the epidemic, and all that, or pandemic, a lot of people are just talk.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
people
can-
are
I'm glad
just
you're the
talk,
first
man.
person to say something
Oh,
mean
look
about
at you.
people.
I mean,
Look at you
and
over
I'm not-
here.
and I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
some
talk bad
opinions
about
about
anybody
that.
or anything like that,
Yeah.
but
You're
a
waiting
lot
for
of
that.
people, a lot of people will pay lip service, but when it comes down to doing things, when it comes to the acting of it, people don't really do much. Everybody wants to be a keyboard warrior or whatever, and and to keep this going, is just proof, that we're not those types of people. We go out and we do things. We're doers, not talkers.
Yeah,
Or of course we're sitting here talking.
We're
but
not. We're not. We're not.
but
following
we're
this.
doing the damn thing.
Right.
You know
We're
what
not.
I mean?
We're not sheep.
Right. Exactly.
There you
Exactly.
Well, and 4 years later, you see a lot of the people that are still complaining and living in 2020 in their mindset too, where they haven't been able to get over it. They're scapegoating a lot of things. It's, and that's what it goes back to what I said. It revealed, like, it's like COVID didn't give you mental issues. They revealed your mental issues.
Yes.
Which, and that's not even an insult. I mean, look, I'll put this out there. I mean, I sobered up like almost going on 10 months ago now. I've been living the sober life, and through that process, I've been going to my fair share of AA and counseling and shit. And frankly, I don't care what you do. I think everybody could use a little bit of mental coaching, get over yourself.
Props to you going to those. And you said last week you got what pin?
My 9-month pin.
Good job. Hey,
congrats, bro.
Congrats.
Yeah.
And there's a certain strength and vulnerability, and I think there's a lot of pride and a lot with people where they just, they've got to play it tough, and then they don't really dig into themselves, but then a situation like that shows, like I said, the character of people.
It does.
Absolutely and people should take stock in that about themselves.
All right. I'm gonna have to do the conspiracy thing because I want to hear your guys' opinion, because I know you guys are just dying to talk about it.
Oh,
God. I'm gonna give you guys a
hold on, wait. Conspiracy theory.
I know. I'm dreading asking this fucking question.
I can't wait to hear the sound bite.
I'm afraid of the sound bite. He's learning how to use it again.
Oh God!
So
yes,
since we're talking about 2020 and then the whole, how you said, the COVID.
COVID.
But do you think
the Rona?
Yep. Do you guys really think the United States made it just to scare people, to put them in their house and see who would follow the rules or everything else?
Anybody else want to take this first? I already got my answer.
All right.
I don't really have an answer for it. Shit. I don't really have an answer for it because I
think you kicked it.
Because I got sick with it. I did. I get sick, and I got sick.
So you got it?
Yeah, I got sick.
So,
but I also got the shots. I got 2 shots. And actually, it was after the second, or was it the second shot? Yeah, after the second shot, I actually got the flu shot at the same time.
Okay.
So I got like flu Rona. Because you know how you get the flu shot, you feel a little sick and all that stuff. Well, I already had the virus when I went and got the shots, not realizing it. The next day, man, oh my God, I was ready to freaking die, dude.
So did you have to get the shot because of your job, or you just did it because of your family?
I had to do it. The first shot was because of my job. Second shot was just, I was just like, I might as well do it. Right. Because I better safe than sorry, man. So honestly.
Did you feel the microchip going inside you?
Yeah, it was great. No,
it's right about here.
Yeah, it's right here. No, it's on this side. I use my right arm, so I had to do my left.
How did they administer the chip part of it?
Yeah, right. At Meyer, I might add.
It's actually inside the liquid. So
were there any cows?
Nanotechnology.
Yes.
Were there any cows involved?
You didn't see a scalpel coming and say, "Hey, we're just we have to do this for a minute."
Yeah, I actually think. I guess at this point, it doesn't really matter who created it. Honestly, it doesn't. The fact of the matter is it people died.
Yeah, people.
Died. Millions of people died from it. Sometimes I do have theories about why it happened. I'm not going to say that the government created it or anything like that, because there's that. No, it was created in North Carolina. They took it out to China and whatever. And that's
so
the thing.
You know about that.
I know all about that stuff. Right.
There's half of my answer.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing about it is millions of people died. And sometimes I think that
You asked the question, Joe.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Motherfucker.
I know you opened the can of worms.
I know.
Right.
But sometimes
you guys are just waiting for it.
Well, and
Pandora's
sometimes I
box
think
is
the
open
whole
now.
part of it was sometimes I think that maybe the insurance companies had it created so they wouldn't have to honor any policies or anything, killing off the baby boomer generation because they become dead weight in society. And there are so many of them still.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes.
I think sometimes there is some truth to that.
Aren't
because
you a baby boomer?
What's that?
Aren't you a baby boomer?
No, he's Gen X.
Gen X, homie.
Okay.
You better watch what you're talking to.
Yeah.
We don't play.
Huh?
What were you?
I don't know. I don't know what I am.
No, what year were you?
What year were
80.
you born?
80.
Yeah, you're
You're right on the cusp. Yeah.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
on the cusp.
I don't believe it.
We're the fuck around and find out, Gen X.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
But
Still tough.
I really think that there may have been, if it was created, I think it was to kind of help kill off the older population because of the weight that they've become on the economy.
To answer the follow up on that, what you just said, do you think they did that on purpose, or I know they did that part on purpose, doing the shot or the whole COVID thing,
Right?
But do you think they kind of think, oh shit, this is way too far fetched? Like, oh my god, we just killed 500,000 people.
Well, no. The thing about it is it originated in China.
Yeah. All right.
It made it all around the world.
Yes.
With that, I mean, and measures were taken to try to stop it and all that stuff. But I also have a friend who got COVID in 2019. He got it in like November or whatever. He almost died
a lot of people
because they
did,
didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he like almost died from it. And it was because, I mean, he had health problems from prior living, I guess is the best way to put it. And like I said, it started in China and it made its way around the world. We could blame China for not containing it. I guess the Wuhan place was not as airtight as they thought. And
well, let me ask you this: where? Because I forget, honestly, but I know that the North Carolina thing is a fact. Where it was, there were a couple times where it got mishandled a few times.
Yeah, that's.
I think UNC and their labs or whatever. What was the year order on that? Because it seemed like it was, and I'm only going.
It was
from
in
memory.
19.
Okay,
yeah,
because and then. That's where I don't remember what the relationship the dates between North Carolina and China though, like what
what
the chicken and the egg is,
right? Well, the thing about it is we didn't really find out about it until 2020,
right? When everybody was off work and
if you remember,
shit up,
I retired from hosting karaoke.
Yeah.
The very next week, everything shut down. Czars got shut down, never opened again.
Yeah.
I mean, everything got shut down.
Well, shit like that.
And it was, and I was kind of upset about it because I had people taking plans.
No, with the whole shutting down thing, to go on that, the town shut down, yes, because half the town, they made it to a point where you had to shut down or do something else to the point where how to stay open.
Right.
If you can only do 50% of that capacity,
right.
Good point, like Czars, since they did shut down from that. They can't afford a band.
There is more to Czars than that.
But hey, the public doesn't even know that.
Yeah, there is more to it than that.
But you had, but you couldn't afford the lights. You can't afford everything else. Any place, even the restaurants.
Conspiracy on his own.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that is.
It's
because you know
what of communism.
One little.
But you had to shut down. You had to have 50% of anybody that could stay in a place. How are you going to do that when you
couldn't? There's no possible way you could.
Well, I mean, even like the sandbar. Thank God they had to go and the food going out of there.
Right.
That place is small. Yeah. So if you say you can only have 50% of capacity in that place, well, shit.
Well, that's and at that time,
10 people.
When that happened, a lot of almost all the restaurants that survived, that's what they did was takeout.
Yeah,
and people were still buying. People were still doing the takeout.
That's why
right.
They
You
made
think about-
that,
you
they
think
made that
about
thing down there.
The companies that actually profited off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Grubhub, DoorDash.
DoorDash. Yeah.
Service companies, basically,
Yes.
tech
Yes.
companies.
Yeah.
Well, and people talk about like the 5G process and putting out, and they associate that with it. But I want to take it a step further because it's a little talked about aspect of all of this months before COVID even happened. And it's not to blame Trump policy per se, but it was one of the catalysts where there was actually a solvency crisis with the global banks that came to a head September 17, 2019.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
And nobody talked about it because we're getting into impeachment and all of that stuff. And nobody even revisits that. So if we want to talk conspiracy, at a point, things got so bad that it was a lot, because even that's when the oil sell-off happened in December of 2019. All of this shit happened. It was like writing on the wall that the dollar was on life support. And if there were a conspiracy and you want to base it off of like the economy, and at a point it was cheaper to shut the world down than to run the world and to run the credit-backed dollar financing the world, and to keep certain services open. And and then it became this whole blame Fauci thing. It's always always about it's always about the disease. It's always about the medical aspect of it, and maybe in the mentality of that changes depending on the demographic. If you're MAGA, you believe this. If you're libertarian, you believe this. If you're on the left or or liberal, whatever you want to call that, you believe this. But at the end of the day, there's this missing link that people don't talk about. Because then, if you talk about this global economic crisis, well, you have to say Trump economic policies were shit. They caused this. So if you're that MAGA side, it is easier to listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene and you're not a doctor, and all that bullshit, and leave it at that. But you got to dig into it deeper. It's just like,
well, it's just like September 10th, 2001. What happened then?
Oh yeah, like all the stock sell-offs and everything.
And the Pentagon reported that they lost how many trillions of dollars?
We don't know.
$8 trillion? Yeah.
But
we don't know what happened to it.
We have no idea where it went.
It also happened.
And you notice that office is the one that got hit and blown up and all that stuff? A plane went into it?
Yeah.
It's ironic you would mention that, because then...
Damn, I wouldn't go that far with that conspiracy.
But let's keep it business,
there's still two holes right there, and there's a lot of people that would hate that for that.
I mean...
The
It's
9/11.
Yeah, that's the biggest conspiracy. I don't care. I lost family members in that thing, so
There's a lot of holes in that whole story.
Theory, for real.
The whole story.
Yeah,
there's some interesting
Very
conspiracy
interesting,
theories.
there's a lot of people that don't really want to talk about.
Of
that
course, they
part.
don't want to talk about
No,
it.
I meant just people just don't want to.
Well, because it was
It's
the biggest attack on American soil in history.
And
over
besides Pearl
3,000
Harbor.
people
Besides
died.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Over
Man.
3,000 people died from that.
Could you imagine
Innocent
walking
people.
through that pulverized dust? Like I've rewatched a few of these videos because more have come out,
because
in
now
the last
people
5
are
or
dying
10
because of
years.
the dust and all that.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's kind of why I brought it up, because once again, it's a health issue that arises from it. But
It's a long-term health issue.
Yeah.
That doesn't kill you right away.
A lot of firefighters and all that. Yeah.
Doesn't kill you right away, but over time it kills you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it does. It comes to a point where, the devil is in the details. And, I guess I don't know how this fits in, but if I were the devil, I would hide next to the truth. That way I could whisper in your ear when you were looking for it. You know what I mean? Go a little C.S. Lewis on it,
Right.
Well, a lot of catastrophic things have happened around that, and it has all been in the name of globalism. And like even right now we have this and we're kind of jumping subjects, I apologize, but it's the healthcare CEO who just got shot, and everybody's stance on that, and people have this position about that's depending on what side, their power, and that they sacrifice human lives for profits and everything. And
year
it's
after year after year
Oh,
after
man.
year.
well, okay, we saw that in the blame Obama, or they'll blame, whatever.
Whoever they can think
people will
of.
isolate on based on their beliefs.
Yeah.
And, and I said that, like, I sound like I'm in my own pocket. I'm actually not, because I'm trying to get into this bigger aspect of it. Because if it is about like this globalist corporate oligarchy that controls one market at a time, and getting back to COVID, to shut the world down and to get everybody to just be willing to lock down, who's going to fuck around about their health when people are dying? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But now we're in a situation where it's kind of they've gotten control of people's thoughts in a lot of ways, through Twitter. You got Elon Musk controlling algorithms up and through the election. He was literally able to be a right-wing George Soros, get his guy elected. And right now you got these guys who just got appointed to a department that's literally going to gut our government, and take out regulation and everything.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you think it's bad with the healthcare system when it gets too powerful and it gets filled with like the private vacuum to replace, public, government service in that sense. Wait till they gut the military. Wait till they gut the prison systems. Wait till they gut all of that. And then they're contracting Eric Princes of the world to come in with their private militaries and their private prisons. And I know I kind of went all over the place, but take all that for what you want to roll with.
And what I get out of that actually is especially the private prisons. It's basically in order for private prisons to run, they need prisoners,
Bodies.
They need bodies.
Yeah.
You're right. And basically what it's going to turn into is they're going to need people to do these things. So they're going to set people up. It's going to be modern day slavery.
Yeah.
If you are not a productive member of society, you are going to be a slave.
No,
you
without
will
a doubt,
be a
without
slave.
doubt,
Right.
Without a doubt.
And our military operations being for profit.
Right.
It's like, why do you think like Donald Trump? Because I'm sorry. It's like, whether you love Trump or not, I don't give a shit if it pisses you off. It's, he wants to be that autocratic puppet. He is the one who's literally sold his name as a brand.
Yep.
His family is getting behind that. He's a name for sale, willing to do all that. And that's why they put him in power. And people want to talk liberal media agenda and legacy media, this, that. It's like, it's a corporate media agenda. Everything. And it's like the writing is kind of on the wall with all of this stuff. And, people have to take a step back. And I guess this is where it ties into the last 4 years. We have had a lot of traumatic shit happen where we're kind of normalizes these things at this point. But when you really take a step back, take a breath, get away from your idealistic belief system and just, it puts some thought into what's going on. It's been a wild 4 years.
It really has. And that's why everybody's so desensitized to that guy, that insurance CEO being killed. Everybody's like, well, fuck that guy. He caused how many deaths, over his time there because of the AI thing that he created to basically deny claims.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what's the argument become?
Nobody deserves to be killed, but at the same time, you can't feel sorry for somebody who has been a harbinger of death for as long as he was.
And then that kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Then that kind of stalls people's debate on that aspect, because then everybody stops at the point of, okay, well, we're not condoning murder, right? So then everybody's topic of discussion becomes Medicare versus private healthcare,
right.
or flex savings plans versus Medicare and shit like that. Like,
do you pay Medicare?
I got Medicaid actually.
Yeah. See,
by the time I
you don't
claim
pay
my
Medicare
business
into
taxes, I'm a broke
off your check.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
You
pay Medicare off your check?
Yep.
We're already paying for it. Why do we not have it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
True.
And we
I'll
should
give
have it. We should have it.
We should.
Should be mandatory.
The thing about it is, though, they've got this middleman whose job is to deny us care. We pay them to deny us our care.
Right.
you know, and that's the truth, you know, and it's like the healthcare system, like 80% of it is administrative. 80%.
It's crazy. Well, and even these like the savings healthcare plans and the flex plans, you know, they're insured by FDIC. They're treated more like, you know, you start getting into banking and saving and investment markets when it comes to that kind of insurance, you know. Aside, you know, and I'm not saying which is better or worse, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with insurance again. You know, you're dealing with like just a different form of insurance, but not as if now it becomes more for profit for the banks versus even factoring your healthcare in the first place.
Yeah, it's not even about healthcare.
There's a catch-22 with all of these things, you know, and I guess the moral of the story, you know, as individuals, you know, we can't get caught up in idealistic bickering about this stuff because it always comes back to this pyramid scheme being run, you know, and they take our eyes off of that magic 8 ball. And that's what people have to remember, you know, this, you know, even when you got this whole post-election thing and it's okay, well, we're all going to try to come together, you know, and all of this shit. Well, you know, I don't want to be at odds with my fellow people, but I don't want to stop having the discussion about a corporate globalist oligarchy running the world and its puppets. You know, it's like, we're not, this isn't, you know, let's have a sing-along, you know, like like if they did if they did everything's all right now, you know, just because, nobody stormed the Capitol, yay, you know, it's like, well, you're not supposed to. Like we're like now we're giving each other a pat on the back for there not being chaos, and you know we can't stop asking questions about what's going on.
Right. You just made me think of this. So chaos and storming everything. You think it's going to happen in January when he gets pretty much?
I don't see.
You think there's going to be anything chaos
I don't see it
when he's finally?
I don't think the
on
Biden
that,
supporters
on the rainy day.
I think that
it's hard.
I almost don't want to say it. Okay,
I know,
but I think I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. Okay,
I knew you were.
It's the two wings of the bird. Okay,
all right.
You've got the right, who are the ones who do all the talking, and they will actually act on the foolishness that they talk about. You got the left, who is actually pretty smart, but all they do is pay lip service. Yeah. That's why nobody likes them. That's why they lose. Both of them are shit. I mean, let's be real about it. Both sides are shit because nobody, you know, they're not. Basically, they're both there to create a smokescreen, a diversion for the American people, so to keep us divided and picking sides. All of America wants all the same things: freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what all we want.
Yep.
We want healthcare. We want good paying jobs. We want to be able to provide for our family. That's all America wants. You know, I go everywhere. I've been all over the Midwest. I talk to everybody, and they all say the same thing. I don't know why we don't have universal health care yet. I have no idea. I go into medical facilities. They say insurance companies are a freaking nightmare. They are, because they want to help these people, but they don't get to because the insurance company is not going to pay for it. When, like I said, I've been paying into Medicare my whole life. Yeah. Why do I not have, you know, why do I have to pay for something and then turn around and pay a deductible for the same thing? You know, it's just
pharmaceutical
bullshit.
Companies will not make as much money as they're making now.
Right. Pharmaceutical companies are the reason things are the way they are.
Exactly.
That between them and insurance companies.
If you give free health care, that cuts into their pockets.
It's the epitome of for-profit about everything
right
now.
Right. And there's look, you know something. One of the Native Americans had a medicine man.
You started this, Joe.
Yes, you started it.
No, the funny
You
thing
started
is, you didn't even answer the question.
Native
What was the
Americans.
question?
Native Americans had a medicine man.
Bring it
Lots of
back.
places had the medicine man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they and
This
all they did,
it all ties
they
into
took
it.
care of.
I know.
Yeah, they took care of.
It
They
does
took
a
care
little
of their tribe, whatever, and the tribe took care of them. You know, and now, you got to go to school for 8 years. You got to do this to be a doctor. All this, you know, you have to go through all this.
And this is
rigmarole.
all revolves around
I saw
money.
and it's
I call
all
it hoops.
about money.
You got to jump through all the fucking hoops to get to what honestly a 4-year plan can easily be done. In that 4-year plan, they just want to get more money out of you and more everything else to
Absolutely.
give you a degree that you could have learned in 4 years.
Yep, it's all money driven, all of it.
Basically,
I'll
a
be
waste
I'll
of
be honest with
time.
that.
Yeah,
I'll be honest on that one. Yes, I think that is true.
And then that right there is a distraction in itself.
It is.
The illusion that you have to go to school for that long to learn a certain craft.
Well, and it just depends on the craft too, though.
Yeah,
I mean, because science is tricky. Science is hard.
Science is hard. Yeah.
I mean, and when you want to learn about bacteria and microbes and whatever, you know, the sicknesses, bacteria, whatever, you know, when you want to learn about that stuff, there is a lot to learn. There really is a lot to learn.
Oh, yeah.
However, making someone pay $200,000 to become a doctor, I wouldn't want to be a doctor. I mean, for somebody, I mean, of course, you know, you got I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but, you know, you see a lot of Indian doctors.
Yes. I give you that, yes.
You know,
Chinese doctors.
Right. And it's because that's what their family has done. You know, it's in the hierarchy that they, you know, that's what they do. And it's
Ooh, you stumbled.
well, it's because it's hard to break it down, because it's like, you know, school should be free. I mean, if anybody that wants to learn should be able to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, because not everybody wants to learn. Not everybody's made to learn.
Well, especially,
you know what I mean?
I would think like more the education that seems like what you would almost call reinventing the wheel, like educating what we already collectively know and agree is true about science. You know, it's like, why would anybody be paying so much just to learn those things?
Right.
When you could invest that part of schooling into, well, all right, now you know the basics. Now cut loose and start inventing shit.
Right.
Use these labs
research and development
for research and development, discovery and everything.
Yep.
So
and that's a big thing, man. I mean, because that's how we become more advanced as a society.
Right.
And I've always believed that, especially in any country, you are only as strong as your weakest people.
Yeah.
Because you have to take care of them too.
Right. That wolf pack mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I want to get back to what you said in the beginning.
I know.
This is serious. About the COVID. Why do
you went that far back? Okay.
Yeah. So I saw this video where and we forget about the doctors and nurses that were behind this all, and they were speaking out. Remember how the doctors were speaking out about COVID, and they're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And they were all banned from social network. Any social network, they were banned from it. It was doctors in California saying this is all wrong. You guys, they are doing this wrong. Now I saw this video about the shots. The first shot was initially to dilute your immune system down to 50%. And each booster shot, and this is from a nurse that was working in the field, 50%. So 50% of your immune system is shot, done.
Mm-hmm.
You can't regenerate those white blood cells to fight off the diseases, right? The booster shots, another 25% of your immune system is shot after you take the shots. This is why people were getting sick over and over again. Now,
I'll give you that. Yeah.
However, for your immune system to be brought down to 50%, and then for you to strengthen it back up, would probably make your body stronger. It will probably make your immune system
that's what
stronger.
they want. That's what they want. Yeah.
And I mean, because and the funny thing is like with COVID, bro, I was going into people's houses, all this other stuff, never got it. Never got it.
So how'd
It
you
wasn't until I wasn't doing anything and I was sitting in my house all day long that I got it.
That means you got.
I went out. I went to Babes. I swear. I went to Babes. First time I had been out, and this was, it was over a year into it. Went to Babes, saw some people, whatever. Got COVID.
Love you guys.
Yeah. I mean, and I did. I got COVID, and this was like years ago. So
Babes is not a COVID.
yeah, it's not. It's
We
not.
love you guys.
But,
Go to Babes.
however, I
Disclaimer.
Right,
Disclaimer
right.
time.
However, there was a guy there that I knew that actually had the cough and all that, and I didn't think anything of it, because you're right. And
I just want to throw out there, through that whole time, I never got the shot. Never.
You didn't either.
I haven't gotten the vaccine.
And I was never.
So 3 of us haven't got the shot.
Never.
And one person got sick.
I was
from
never
it.
sick. I was never sick. I'm seriously never sick. Never came down with any of the symptoms. I know a few people that when they got the shot, this is when they started getting sick over and over and over again.
All right. Everybody here, raise your hand if you didn't get the shot.
I got the shot.
Who got the shot?
I know I got COVID.
Our sound guy
once.
even raised his hand.
However, I haven't been sick since then.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Not at
been
all.
sick since then
Okay.
either.
See,
And I've been exposed to it many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I
since
bet.
then,
See,
too.
and I don't knock anybody. I know when my first reason was, well, let's see if people's bodies start melting in 60 days.
Yeah.
'Cause I watched
See, you're
that
going-
video, I'm like,
Well, and I did
But-
wait. I ain't gonna lie. I did wait a
Yeah,
while before I
yeah.
got the shot. I did.
Yeah.
Because and the thing is like I wasn't getting sick, and I've come to notice that most people that did not get sick spent a lot of time outside
Yeah.
getting fresh air. Fresh air was actually the
Thank you, sir.
preventative,
Thank
I
you.
believe.
I was
well,
actually.
and stress will
actually,
make
yeah.
you sick too, and if
Yeah.
you're sitting there freaking out about everything,
Yeah.
yeah. or giving yourself watching too many YouTube videos, and like seriously, a lot of people that work their whole lives, it's the first time. Probably they've been locked down and at home, stir crazy. They had to keep Lowe's and Home Depot open so people didn't beat their spouses. All this shit going on, right?
That was another thing that
I did a
was
lot of improvements in my
domestic
And
violence.
get some fucking patio bricks.
Hey,
Bro, I slapped the shit out of you.
Go get some paint now.
domestic violence.
Get the right
that's
color.
spike too, man.
Yeah.
That's spike.
It did a lot.
I'm sorry.
Get the right color this time.
I mean, a lot of people were doing some crazy shit doing that.
Actually,
time.
we were
Yeah.
busy. I work at Ace, and we stayed open, and we were nonstop busy.
Well,
But I was always outside, like you said.
Right.
Yeah, the fresh air. Yeah, I was always outside.
It
working.
was about fresh air.
Yeah.
It really was, man.
I
Stay
never.
inside.
But I
And they
found out.
wanted you to.
Yes.
But the
And that
funny thing
was-
is, my whole
see,
family.
That's where you got to think about.
My
it,
whole
too.
family got the shot, and they were mad at me because I was the only one that didn't get the shot.
Mhm.
But then
Oh, I
I
got a lot of
went to the
ridicule,
doctor.
too.
I went to the doctor, and I found out I was asymptomatic, so I could carry the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I would never get the symptoms of it.
Right.
So I could be like a fucking carrier, and I could give it to my whole
Well,
family.
Hey, how
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah,
But I never had. No, I didn't have a cough.
Hi, you know,
Yeah, I just
all the
sounded
H
like
words.
RFK.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I got harassed for it from my whole family. They said, even my daughter, Dad, go get the shot. I said, why? I'm not getting sick. Look at you people. You guys are like dying on me. You're in bed. You're in bed
At the same
sleeping.
time, you might have had it, not known it, and
Yeah.
then passing it to them.
Oh, that's what they said.
Well, the truth
And
be
then it's
told,
true.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. But
I would have went and got the shot if it would have prevented the spread. But once they kind of figured, you can still catch COVID, you can,
Yeah.
you're not going to deter. I was like, well, I'm not putting anybody else at
Well,
risk.
what,
But
I
How
think
would I
about what
know?
do you expect? They put that shit together so fast.
yeah,
That was my worry about it too.
right.
They put that shit together so fast in months,
Yeah.
and it normally takes years for that.
Right.
To be
Right. Well,
to be-
and I actually believe that they were working on it long
Yeah.
before
Well,
that
Yeah.
too.
So
and then they did it with it wasn't a traditional vaccine either. It
No,
was done
no.
with mRNA or RNA.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So that goes back to what you were saying when it was noticed in November,
mhm.
way
Mhm.
before they even started
Yeah,
putting it out on the
2000, yeah.
news.
Right.
And I noticed that myself. I was like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this.
Right.
I heard back in November that this virus is going around.
Yeah. Everybody thought it was pneumonia.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
but my thing is, it goes back to way back when it was smallpox, when it was the measles, when all these other people, then I know a lady that's just turned 100 and gone through all that shit
and survive.
And they're still surviving through COVID. I mean, why they didn't have medicine back then that could take care of all that shit?
They had vaccines for.
I meant no.
No,
Now they do.
smallpox,
I meant no. Back in the
That's
day,
why how they eradicated.
no.
it, man.
Back in the day, how they survived all that shit. She could survive, and all these older people that are in the 90s survived all this.
They tied their bloomers around their face.
That's
That's what
right.
they did
You
during
wanna
the
know?
Spanish
I
flu.
actually have a
They're
story.
fucking
I actually
tying
have a
their
good story
underwear around
about
their head.
pertaining to that.
But how could they? I mean, my thing is, I didn't want to do the shot.
Let's see, back back in 1919, the flu epidemic in 1919.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The bird flu.
No,
It was the very first
Yeah.
influenza outbreak. You want to know the people who survived and thrived? People who ate onions.
I love onions.
I hate onions.
Because onions are antiviral.
Yeah.
We're all like
antibacterial.
an onion.
Right.
Yeah.
And
When you
and
peel
that's
back a layer, you
and people
cry.
they didn't know that. The only reason they found out later is because people who like there's people who had onion farms and stuff like that never
They tried,
ever
and they
got
tried so
sick.
hard. To
And it was
discredit
old
that.
wives' tale that you cut open an onion, you leave it on your counter or whatever, and it'll soak up whatever's in the air and everything else. And that's actually what happened is people were like, oh wow, but still a million people died, or whatever.
Well, some immune systems that can't handle it.
Right.
And in that case, right there, this is what happened in 2020. A lot of immune systems couldn't handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Weak immune systems.
And
and
it's
those are
compromised.
completely
Yeah.
new strain of a flu. Because I mean, when you think about it, how many of flus in the last 30, 40 years have come out of a lab anyway? So it's almost like a given it was going to come out of a lab.
Yeah.
Like when they said
Oh,
it came from bad, some is like, well,
Yeah,
we'll keep the
seriously.
verdict out on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
bullshit.
Come on.
Yeah.
When's the last time something
And it was
has
quick
come
to,
out
quick to
of
blame.
just
I mean,
nature,
quick
you
to
know?
blame China because they eat different types of food than
Yeah.
we do, right?
Right.
So they're different than the rest of the world. Of
And
course.
some of the stereotypical things, it was easy for people to kind of run with that. Well, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about people having all this time on their hands all of a sudden. And if they've been, no offense, low information people, and then they're hearing all this shit, they're going to buy into anything that they're traditionally brought up in. If they were raised in McCarthyism, well, yeah, fucking Chinese,
Right.
That's just their mentality.
Not to mention that China was on an incline as far as a world dominant country.
How many
And to
people died though?
I'm not even talking about the people that died. I'm talking about just the incline. Their economic growth was is going up, and that right there alone is probably a threat to the rest of the world or to the American dollar.
It was.
Great.
It was because at the time, Saudi Arabia was considering going to the Chinese dollar over the American dollar for the oil.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have Russia and the China country.
And Russia actually still supports that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
right there, it gives you some kind of incentive to hate a certain country.
Mm-hmm.
Especially you hear a disease that comes out of that country and is threatening the whole world, world over, and everybody's dying from it. That makes right there a perfect boogeyman.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect boogeyman.
Which is ironic because all these people that are against that are also crypto bros and they're buying into the very system that is like the BRIC countries in the economy that is basically being hedged against the failure of the dollar. So when it does, they will be on top,
Right.
And not to pick on Trump again, but the Liberty Financial, all these investments being made into crypto. And it's interesting. It's like, and to get back on that, like you hear when these people start talking against something, you almost have, what is their motive? It becomes, we're in a speculative economy, and even then, the GameStop thing and everything that happened after the fact, it was a lot of hedge fund companies that were reaping these profits, but then they picked on the one, that was what was the name of that one? But it's just all, but it's all these like market moves happening while the world shut down. Well, it goes back to the oil sell-off. That was a business reaction to the dollar tanking in the bank repo markets for months up to that point. Like, it was the first time where, I pay attention to that kind of shit. So in 2019 and coming even into September that year, I'm like, man, the dollar might actually fall this time. And then you think about it, during COVID, the first time ever, like, hell froze over. There was no tax day for the first time since the 16th Amendment even got passed.
Yeah.
All these little nuances that happened, and, no one really paid attention to that because they were afraid for their health.
Right.
Or they were so mentally worked up about what was going on. Well, it kind of goes back to the one thing you had brought up about come January.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the mindset of the people that stormed Lansing because they couldn't handle wearing masks, or their kids in school and everything. How easily triggered people were. Oh, and this is the way I look at a lot of this stuff. I hope I'm not getting too far off the path, but these situations, if they showed me anything, that they're giving society enough rope to hang themselves with. And then people's reaction, like, they're not going to just come in. Okay, now this whole thing with the deportation and bringing ICE into it, that's a little sketchy, because now you're talking about enemies within. And I don't care if you're talking about liberals or conservatives or whoever. When you start pinning an enemy and you have a group that's kind of separated themselves with this air of moral superiority, that God, divine right to go, say freedom from what, but this same demographic is triggered, to cause gridlock in Lansing or storm the Capitol. It's like all they need is somebody to tell them it's okay to do this. That's what happened in Germany. That's why that movement can be, compared to fascism. Sometimes they get offended by it.
Right.
It's like, no, it's not like, I won't call them Nazis.
Right. But at the same time,
got its own brand.
If the right actually does start coming for your guns because of an insurance CEO getting killed, you know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's for your protection.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Mess with the mic.
I hear it.
There's one more thing that I noticed too, that the stimulus checks brought to us.
Mm-hmm.
We had two different checks,
Like 16 or 16.
Oh, it depends if you had kids or
that
not.
money
That's the thing.
Remember.
is going to have to be paid back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be paid back, and then we're going to get taxed. If it's not us, it's going to be our children.
Well, I mean, we're still paying for the billionaire tax cuts too. I mean,
and what was it? Was the deficit? Is it double digits?
It's like
20
trillion or something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty
Where does it stop?
It'll never stop. It will never stop.
Well,
I mean,
it's gotten to the point where it's basically just digits on a screen anymore. Anyways,
Yeah,
I think
it is.
I think they can kill half of that. I hate to say this for all you fucking stoners out there. If they tax pot with all these people that are growing up these
what do you think they're doing now?
No, their
States are definitely
no,
getting
their
that.
states are getting that.
Yeah.
But if the government legalizes it, if they finally legalize it, they can do the same thing they did to tobacco, and then
Get a federal.
and they'll get all the federal money, and that will go off to the it'll probably take not half, but it'll probably take it down to the billions. I think trust me, because then they can't stop. No
cake, man.
Then they can't stop where they can open them up at. You can't. Then they don't have the. Then the cities in the states don't have the right.
You still have to do something about.
They don't have the right to work. They can open up anywhere they
still
want.
have to have a license though to sell.
They'll get the license. Then
that's where they get the money.
Then they'll get taxed even more for the license. They can get more money for the license on top of it.
Right.
If they physically legalize it through the government, tobacco will be gone.
Well, I still think that they need to. It's just like getting a liquor license.
Yeah.
There's only so many allowed per area.
They won't.
And
they haven't eliminated that yet.
Right, and they're not going to.
No.
And it's going to be the same way with dispensaries. There are only so many in it per area. It's the same as liquor stores and bars and all that.
Oh no, they're the only reason they do that because they don't want it in city. Half the time they don't want it in city limits.
Right.
They don't want it in the area where kids can just walk right in.
Well, I mean,
And-
downtown Benton Harbor is a great example. Of
Benton
that.
Harbor
I
didn't
mean,
care.
Because
Benton Harbor didn't care.
they wanted the revenue.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
wanted
You know,
they wanted people
and,
to come.
and it has helped.
They want
It has
people to
helped.
come to downtown.
Right. It has helped.
It helped them.
has.
It
You
does. It does seem though like
Niles, St.
you
Joe,
can
Yeah.
you
Broda.
can find a way to tax any market though and get any revenue stream to help pay the credit card bill down. But as long as we're dealing with a global financial system that is dependent on fractional reserve backing and a credit backed dollar, it's always that's the mechanism with debt itself. You know what I mean? It's like
and as
'cause
long as the government's going to spend more than they get, we'll always be in debt.
I'm just saying
And that's really what
that's
it comes
probably
down to.
it's gonna come. We're gonna be in debt no matter what. No matter what, we're always gonna be in debt.
well, they say that the world
It'll
owes
never
somebody, some magical
Right.
entity, $1 quadrillion.
Right.
And that was a number that I saw 10 years ago. So
Right.
God knows what it is now.
The only
So
thing-
who do we owe?
All right,
the
yeah,
only thing
pardon
is
me, I gotta
the only thing
relieve
that it's
myself.
gonna change
First
is
time I've ever done this.
are you going
I
pee?
have to, man. I can't
Oh,
help it.
no, we're calling up. Put the camera on him.
First
Put the
time.
camera on him
First time.
and say, hey,
First
this
time
is the
in a
first
50
time
episode.
out of 50
Yeah.
episodes, this man
I'm
is now
squirming.
is gonna do
We talked
the
James into submission.
no, it's gonna do the
Yeah,
Terry.
right,
He,
good.
he can't
I
handle
gotta
it. He can't hold it, dude. We're not even 2 hours.
Yes.
Not 2 hours.
I'm not taking my hand off the car.
Oh my god. Wait a minute.
I'm here for the long haul. Oh shit. Uh-oh, Joe's got the board.
Uh-oh.
Is this how it feels to be James Gill? Oh wait.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah, we're
fucking
still
live.
Live didn't go with James. We're still
Oh,
here.
we're
Yeah.
still fucking live.
We're still
Fuck
here.
this.
God,
Frozen
thank
you
God
live.
I don't drink anymore.
Wow, I
It
haven't
could get
done-
out of control.
He's never gave me the buttons before. What's this one do?
Oh shit.
Certified badass.
Yes, I am. Thank
Classic.
you. Yeah, he's gonna look at me and say, "Get the hell out of my chair."
Yeah. Oh, you know.
But
Go Steve Wilkos on you.
but actually, I do have a button on here soon. Oh, I think it was Jimmy when he was on the show. He said, "You just got Joed." I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? He says, "You just got picked on and you just got Joed by you." I went, "Oh shit, I got my own button."
We keep pushing buttons.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, right.
I don't. But to
You're
go back-
flying this shit, brother.
he could be my sidekick.
Fucking warp
That's
speed.
right. You get over there,
So
sidekick.
back to the question: what do you think's going to happen? Do you
Oh.
think on January 6th it's
See, my
or
thing is-
anything like that it's going to happen?
Honestly, I don't think nothing's gonna happen.
I don't
think
think
it's-
so
I think
either.
it's gonna be run smoothly. Everything's gonna be fine.
However,
go
I
from
do
there.
know that that there are investigations being done
I-
because, like, a good example is North Carolina.
Yeah.
Democrats cleaned up in North Carolina,
Right.
but Trump won, which makes you wonder
oh, you got a lot
what
back
really
in.
happened.
You got all them back into it.
Elon Musk, I think
Yeah,
Elon
see-
Musk
See,
has a
look at
lot to do with it too, honestly.
What? See, I told you.
You just got Joe. You just got Steve Wilkos.
I know. Damn, I just
of
got
my
it.
chair.
you got Joed.
You
My
just got
apologies,
James
folks.
Guild.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got Joed.
I got
Now
Joe.
look- he's gonna
All
get-
right, all right.
see,
All right, got
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh, shit.
Damn it, man.
This reminds me of the Glorious Bastards now.
you got Joed again.
Oh, damn. My apologies, folks.
Dude, that's the first time in your life you ever done that.
What?
You had to get up.
Yeah, I know. It's the first
Terry,
time.
Terry did it 3 times.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go. Yeah,
I think
Terry's-
I think KT did it once.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
No,
No,
we had someone else do it.
somebody else did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember who.
I know. Yeah, that's my first time. It'll never happen again. I promise. My apologies.
You just
Not
broke
until
the
the
seal
100th
for 4
episode.
people.
I don't know how.
I couldn't help it, man.
It'd be like that sometimes. Get over 50, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're
Normally,
not,
normally I'm like
He
a
said
camel,
over
hey,
man.
man, it's not like you're
When you start
defusing
wearing
a
the
bomb
pants.
here. You don't need to piss in your seat.
Pens. Is that why there's a cushion
I'm
right
in
here
it.
to soak this shit up?
No, dude, that's gross.
It's not
What
a
a
contest
pee-pad
for the
looks like.
studio. It's not like you're trying to win it. You know, like, I've got to stay or I lose.
Oh.
You know.
You only had one beer.
I know. It's still,
WJOE.
Damn.
Oh, you got something else to say about
Yeah,
it?
I'm not going to.
It wasn't the beer, it was the water.
Yeah, well, lots of
Dude,
water
he just
before I-
opened it. Don't
Oh, I
really
had
the
lots of water
water.
before I got here too, man.
Oh,
I went before we started.
I know you usually do.
Oh man, sorry about that, guys.
He
All
says, keeps up. No, say sorry to them. Not,
No,
not
In the
us.
next
That's
hour of
right.
this
That's
episode,
I
we'll
had
be
to put
talking
in a
about our
chair.
bowel and lavatory
You'll never
movements.
get that chance.
See, I told you. What did I tell you? I'll never get a chance. He told me to get the hell out of my chair.
Get out of my chair.
See? Oh.
I'm trying to put
I
it.
even pushed the button.
You literally
You did
need
not.
bucket
Yes, I did.
seats in
I
here.
pushed the button. It was
like a
awesome.
fucking bucket.
Oh,
That's it.
oh.
No.
I pushed
Certified badass.
That's right.
All right, I am. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
See, now he's switching up.
Yeah.
He's not going to touch that.
Got many other buttons to push, Joe, like this one.
I told y'all, get it. Hey, Zach, calm down over there. Don't start laughing.
That was your time to learn all the buttons.
I know where all the
You had
buttons
a
are.
minute to do it.
The funny thing is, I learned him how to. I showed him you can do that other stuff. With
No,
that.
you didn't.
Yes, you did.
You did
Yes,
not.
I did.
You don't know what's going on over here.
I
You see
don't
buttons and
Joe,
lights.
know.
you know that a lie gets around the world before the truth can put its boots on.
That's why we're in the third Eye Truth Theorem.
You still can't say it. He gets it wrong all the time.
I do it on purpose. Just to aggravate your
No,
ass.
you don't.
So, lie marathon in here now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Joe's over there.
I do have a question for you, James, actually.
Go ahead, knock it
About
out.
the podcast.
Go ahead, brother.
Of all the things that you accomplished with this podcast, what's the best one? What's the best thing you ever accomplished with this podcast?
That I've accomplished with this podcast. Just I don't know. For me, I accomplished my own sanity. I mean, just like in other words, I have a peace of mind right now, and I think that everybody should have their own peace of mind, whether it's I don't know, speaking out loud to other people, or writing, painting, traveling, drinking beer.
I don't drink beer. I drink wine. Thank you.
You drink beer and wine.
I do. I love my wine. Though.
Anyway, no, I mean, sorry.
I know.
Whether
Anything.
We'll say
Well,
the
I-
adjectives and just stick
honestly,
with the
I'd say your
verbs
greatest
here. You
accomplishment
drink.
is making it to the 50th episode.
No,
it involves
I mean,
with all the stuff that's been
no,
going on.
Right.
I'll go with this.
To keep on keeping on.
No, my accomplishment is for him.
Hold on,
No,
let me
no,
finish. Let me
no,
finish. Let me finish.
I know.
I wasn't done.
I know, but
You
like,
keep interrupting.
yes,
I was right in the middle of it. Anyway, just have a focus on something. I mean, this is like the 3 P's I always talk about. You have a purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the end. You have your purpose. You're I can't even think of what it is now.
I thought you were going to
It's
say
your
another
own-
P word.
No.
No.
Purpose, performance, and
Well, just,
Poontang.
number one.
Went pee.
Number one. The first one I actually said is peace of mind, which brings you purpose,
Yeah.
and then you get your power back.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's good.
That is
That's,
good.
I mean,
Look at you.
So you have your peace of mind. You get that clarity.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you purpose. Find that purpose in your life, and then you can get that power back that you always had in your life.
See, my thing was, I was kind of shocked you didn't say is I fucking did it.
No,
I
I haven't done it yet.
No,
I
this
haven't
is your 50th
accomplished-
show.
Yeah,
This is your 50th
this is
show.
a milestone.
You started it. Is the first thing is for me, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go do this, and I just sit there and still not do it, and I still not do it, and I still not do it. You physically went out, spent your own money, spent this, spent that on equipment, and then everything else. You accomplished something that you wanted to do, that everybody pushed you to do, but you can listen to our fucking words. You could do anything you want.
But it's all been a collective
It's
effort
all
too.
no,
been a
but it's
collective effort.
all you pushing yourself.
But
do
it's,
this.
like I said, at the end, it's been a collective effort because I couldn't have done this all by myself.
No,
Right.
I get that.
All by myself.
You need people.
I need people, a strong support group of people like-minded and see the same vision that I have and can understand that vision.
I do.
So I mean,
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
This is what I'm saying. This is why this group of people right here in the 50th episode of the Eye Truth Theorem Podcast, we see the vision and the same value of this production right now.
Yep.
And I feel great about it. That's the whole purpose in my life right now. It's a
freaking
drive.
awesome, man.
It drives me to be even better every time we do an episode. Every time we do an episode. And I've gotten better. Remember, I used to
stumbling over words and all that. Yeah.
Hey, and respect to your modesty about that. At the same time, you got off the couch though, and you went out and did it though. You did put a lot of effort into it though. So
it took a lot out of me, man. Like I said, this dude right here, man.
Yeah.
Gave me
well, I should give credit to Joe too.
To go with,
I won't call you a sidekick.
To go with my psychicness, I'll call myself back. But I had people.
That, man.
I hated it. But people still call me it. But the funny thing is, people came up to me while we were on a hiatus, I call it, or sabbatical. And people asked me, said, "Hey, when are you guys going back on? I need this show. I would like to hear you guys still talk." I said, "Wow, you guys really fucking following this? What the fuck?"
Didn't know how many people were like interested in our videos.
Yeah.
After
people just watching it through Facebook and through everything else.
Yeah, before he got the videos.
Yeah, before he got YouTube and all that. But then people now are coming up to me, Joe. I'm like, who the hell are you? They said, you're on the James's podcast. I went, oh, yeah, I am actually. Thank you.
I mean,
all right.
Seriously, man.
And I
go
had
anywhere
people,
nowadays.
I went to Rybel's and I was just sitting at the bar and they just came up to me. I said, we love watching you guys after you guys posted.
Nice.
We love watching you and all the people who you have on next week. So I tell them, man.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it's nice that people are following us, but in my eyes, I think, why you're not watching the day of?
Yeah, well,
that's more thing. Why you not watching the day of? Damn, why are you watching the recap?
I mean, Wednesday nights are hard for me too.
Yeah,
yeah.
People work those nights.
I know,
right?
Going to bed,
but we do it at 8:00 at night.
Yeah,
but still, people going to get ready to go to
getting
bed.
their kids ready for bed, or people are.
Now we're gonna do it on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah,
we do Sundays
in February.
So yeah, they don't want to.
I would actually make an effort to join. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's always possible. We can always change it, but he works Sundays. That's what he
We can do it during the day, like we're doing now.
Yeah.
I know, but
what you going at 6, right?
5.
Yeah, but I mean, shit like this,
Right
where we could always have other things.
It's the Sunday hangover show.
Yeah.
I can see. Dana, let's write that down. Dana has great ideas all the time.
Did the local radio station have something called?
Wait.
I have no idea.
Use the Pat Moody.
It just sounded.
Use our Pat Moody Pat.
The hangover show. All right.
Our Pat Moody Pat.
I think Jason Lee had the hangover show back when he was doing 106. Somebody did. Somebody had a hangover show around here.
See, I gotta market our
maybe it was free beer and hot wings.
It's
all a blur. Some syndicated shit.
Yeah, that's our next goal. We would love to be syndicated.
I just had a buddy talk to me last night about that. He said, "Dude, I see your podcast, man." And this is a guy I've known since the 90s, back when I worked at Foot Locker.
Oh,
and he was like, "Dude, keep doing what you're doing, man. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
As long as you keep doing it.
Yeah.
You may be syndicated one of these days."
Yeah. You got the voice, bro.
I get that a lot.
He's the Allstate guy.
Yeah.
You're in good
hands with Allstate.
And I'll go back to this whole aspect too. You know, people see this and it's not like about the popularity, or it's not like about the ego with this. From the outside looking in, it may seem like that, but you know, when you have people walking up to you and recognizing you for something you do, it's a very humbling experience to go through that. And it's almost more of a motivator, like really kind of makes it real, where it's like, wow, you know, I've got a standard to uphold. I have to, it kind of instills a principle, like it shows you the responsibility in your hands, but also it does, you know, kind of it encourages in that sense that, wow, I got people watching, people are looking forward to it. But it's not the ego trip people might think it is. And like being in a band wasn't that way, or one of the things I, as an artist, I have to sell my name more than I would care to. I'm not gonna say I'm uncomfortable about that now. I've had to get used to it, but there's a certain humility where appreciating the fact that people are appreciating you, and it reciprocates, and you have a certain responsibility and you want to uphold that. So, hats off, for all the work.
I tell you what, it's a great feeling, man, that all this is coming to the point where it's actually happening now.
Right.
And I told you I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. I mean, it happened all of a sudden.
I believed in you right away, bro.
It happened all of a sudden, and I couldn't believe this is like all falling in place right now. People wanted to be on, and people, even the people that you brought on, the guys that I would never even had a chance to talk to. It's been great, dude. It's been great.
Well, even to go with that, even when they come back on, they say, damn, this is awesome. We had a great time. We want to come back.
Yeah,
right. We have people that say we want to come back. I said, okay, I'll put you back on in next year because I don't want you to have in the next 2 weeks. Sorry, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to wear it.
So I'm thinking to myself, no, but we're slowly now. Yeah, we're booked out till end of March so far for half the month, but
that's awesome.
It's working.
Super awesome,
it's working.
We're
it's
getting
working.
people
come a long way since the basement is ours.
Yeah, we came back from a basement.
Writing this down on paper.
Yeah.
Well, to go with your thing that you're saying was with him, so you guys know, he did take the hiatus, I call it, like I said. But with everybody asking, I even came up to him. I said, dude, I got people asking about it. I have people. I said, I don't know. He was dragging his feet.
I was getting the same thing.
He was dragging his feet though. But I said, dude, you need to do it. I said, we need to do it. I said, I don't care if you just do it. I'll be behind the stage, behind where Zach's at. I don't care. You need to do this. People want to hear you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And he said, no.
I was procrastinating.
Yeah, he was
was
dragging his fucking feet.
Yeah,
procrastinating.
But I pushed him, and
then we get that first episode with was it Johnny Ford?
yeah. I don't think that was the first.
Yeah,
one.
It was for a minute.
Was it?
It was
I
for a
don't know.
minute.
They're all.
And that was early. That was early. That was early in the year. That was early this year.
But you're counting the shows that we all did in that 50th.
No,
so
I'm talking about.
No, I'm so you guys know he's counting the shows that we came in here.
Those count
in
too.
that
Those
50th.
count too.
Right.
So that's what he's counting.
We
When
put it
we
all
went
together.
live,
Yeah.
I don't think it was when you went live.
So that when we were live, it's probably altogether a good 30, 40 shows.
Yeah.
40 shows.
Yeah.
Then this one, we did.
40, good 40.
A good 40. Then when we went live, I think it was now, the 20th, 20 more shows after. Yeah. Something like that.
So it's been great. I tell you that much. It's been great to see the results, the people enjoying it, people like we do pictures after every show.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that shit blew up.
Oh, the people love the pictures on top of it.
That shit blew up.
People do love the pictures.
Nice.
Yeah.
We doing this. This made it a staple right there, just to do a picture after with every guest.
Right.
I like how you're wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
I like how you're wearing a
Yeah.
shirt.
Where's mine, man?
That's what I said.
21
Wait a minute.
version.
He only made
where's
4.
my neon sign, man?
He made 4. Oh, well, what you say about 6 shirts? 4 shirts?
No, I made more than that. I sold them all.
See, look at that. Yeah.
I sold them all.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
who raised your hand if you got a shirt?
Well, you didn't buy one.
Oh.
You told me I could have one for free.
That's what I said.
You did tell me that.
The next batch that's coming out, you guys all
See,
have
see how I
Size
feel
large.
That's
Size
a cold
large.
motherfucker.
You see how I feel?
Okay.
Shrewd as hell.
See how you got Jode.
But I tell you what, man, it's been a great ride so far, and I'm looking forward to next year.
Oh yeah,
definitely looking forward to next year because there's a lot of things we're going to do.
I'll be admitted, I'm nervous for next year.
Don't be nervous because we're in the same boat.
I know.
So
Yeah,
you got the right attitude about it. You know the work's just beginning.
it
You
is.
know,
It
and
is.
It's a
that's a
journey.
good mindset to be in.
For sure.
You know,
I am ready. I got to let these gunshots off.
Hey, where the fuck that come from? I was about to duck.
Got all kinds of sound effects over here, Tom. But
where's my ear bandage?
you guys?
I'm gonna milk this shit for a week.
I'm seriously. You guys have been an inspiration too, man. You guys have helped. You've been behind my what? I know.
All right.
Got a clock right here.
Oh, okay. I didn't pay attention to that when I had the controls. Sorry.
This isn't some rank ass basement show, Joe.
Yeah, Joe,
We
what do you
got-
think of this?
We got out of the
He's got
basement.
stuff.
I got some new equipment, Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, how I could say this on the mic right now since it's us and everything else. When people walk in here, and like I said before the show started,
Mhm.
was people walk in and said, "Damn, this is a nice setup. I love all the pictures and all the posters, the Jordan. Oh my god, and everything else. People love when they come in here.
Oh,
It's a great feeling when they come in, and then they think you guys got really legit shit.
We didn't know what to expect.
Oh my god, these mics are awesome.
In
The
the
chairs.
basement.
I said, what do you think
Dude.
you're gonna come to?
It just took a lot. I mean, like I was telling you before everybody got here, it was a incident in my life where I was almost in a car accident.
Yeah.
And when I fell asleep behind the wheel, I was going to the ditch towards this embankment that was holding up overpass.
The pillars.
Pulled out just in time. And then right there, I got home. It's like, dude, you got to get this shit together. If you would have died, your vision would have never been seen.
Right.
Just got to get this shit together. And that's from that point on, I was like, I'm all in, 100%, 100%. What's that?
Sometimes you need that. Man.
Well, you get this.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
you do. It's a wake-up call.
Wake-up
I'm
call.
staring at
Yeah.
you. I'm just staring at you.
Yeah, I noticed that. You're like,
I love
this motherfucker is
waiting for you to end it.
But I'm grateful for all three of you guys. You guys have definitely been an inspiration in my life to help me through this. So kudos to all three of you guys.
Yeah, kudos to you for
Yeah.
sticking it through.
Well, it
man.
means a lot to get invited on, being one of the originals, and just not be a part of a forgotten history about where you began. I mean, it really is. It's an honor, not to
That's
use
for sure.
cliche phrases, but
Oh,
to
that's
sit
fine.
here and be a part of this episode. I mean, I'm not like gushing like Pat Moody's in here like a schoolgirl.
We love
Like
Pat
so
Moody, though.
excited
He's
to have a
awesome.
celebrity.
we're all more like family. So
Yeah, we're all-
No, but just it's the holidays and shit. But no, like to get serious though. But it's like,
I don't know if I should have told you guys that story.
no, it's a great story, man. It really is.
but it does. It really does mean a lot to be part of this and be able to kind of partake in such a a milestone episode. After all this time, and see where you're at.
Yeah.
And to be included in that. It's
Oh,
just
you guys
beyond words,
got
man.
more episodes, cameo appearances to come.
Looking
Nice.
forward
Nice.
to it.
Nice.
Looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
More cameo appearances.
We still got chemistry, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Feed off
We
each
talked for
other.
2
I
hours.
think,
and didn't
unless
realize
there's
it.
one-
Yeah.
The
No
one person
problem.
watching.
Yeah, time just flew right by.
So
Ready for the final thoughts?
yeah, let them go first. I can go a third this time.
Oh, so we want to start with Dan.
Yeah.
They just give us
So-
shout outs. What are you up to? What are you gonna be doing in the next?
So yeah, this is like the Jerry Springer's final thoughts.
So, not really much, just work going on in my life. I
Shout out to your wife.
shout out to my wife for putting up with my bullshit.
Shout out to Beth.
Shout out to you guys for having me on here again, for the 50th.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That's
Hey,
awesome, man.
No problem, bro.
Shout out to my family who's been supportive of me. Big shout out to my wife though, really, because she puts up with my shit. And
There you go.
that's really
Beth is a strong lady.
she is.
She's
She
a
is.
strong lady.
She puts up with a lot of my shit. So I mean, I know. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything coming up in the next year or anything, or just working. And I thought about a political career later on.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
actually have considered that, man, because I'm just not happy with
way things are going. Yeah.
Just not happy with it. And somebody's got to do it. I mean, I don't want to, but somebody needs to, man. Somebody needs to stand up and do the right thing. And it may get me killed, but you know, and these days it could very well.
Nick your ear. Just nick your ear.
Right. Yeah.
Not if you don't do anything important enough.
Right.
You'll be good.
Right.
Yeah.
No one will even believe you.
I'm running for drain commissioner. I want to drain the swamp.
Okay, yeah, siphon it into your own waiting place. All right, we're done here.
Other than that, yeah, no. I mean, I'm just grateful for my life at this point, you know, because of ever since I left karaoke and all that stuff, I've actually progressed in my life. You know, I do a lot of self-help things, trying to make myself a better person.
Right.
And I'm always trying to grow, man. Always trying to grow and learn. And I feel like if everybody should try to grow and learn all the time, because when you stop learning, it's the beginning of the end. It really is. You know, it's just like my grandma used to say, you keep moving, and it's when you stop moving is when you start dying.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same way with learning, man.
Of course.
It's always learning. Life is about learning and loving. That's what life is, you know, and pursuing your passions.
That's right.
You know,
Right. Eric?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Dana just said, because personal growth, you know, it's about not being complacent in life. And I know that's something I'm going to continue trying to do with myself going into 2025. And it's brought me a long way in the last year. And it's encouraging to be on the show and see what's happened with the podcast in that same sense. And I encourage everybody out there, don't be afraid to dig into yourself and challenge yourself. You know, where underneath your biggest fears are probably some of the greatest next steps that could be your life.
absolutely.
And yeah, you know, a lot of food for thought coming out of this too. We talked about a lot of things, a lot like the podcast. I know just my whole objective in being an artist, there was a point, there have been a lot of low points for me, a lot of struggling points. And even now, you know, I'm not getting rich doing this. But I have learned in that time that, you know, it isn't always about money. Of course, I'm trying to make a living. I keep my bills paid and all of that business. At the end of the day, though, I'm in a very happy place and very optimistic place with my own future as an artist. And you know, and even things like this and knowing, you know, participating with my peers and my friends and my brothers, you know, on projects when they come up, that's, you know, that makes the future really exciting for me. And I know if I was still complacent and fearful about some things and even about digging into myself, I wouldn't be looking forward to these things. You know, I'd be hiding in a corner and doing the ordinary, and everybody go out and be extraordinary.
Go.
Joe?
Wow.
All right. Now see what you got.
That's my Paris, France.
He was just waiting to use that. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
So mine, actually, I always get sentimental, sorry. But yes, mine is going to be to you guys and to James. For the four founding members of this podcast, we all had the belief in one person, and one person only, is this man right here.
Mm-hmm.
We pushed him and we got him to where he needs to be so far. And yes, you just got Joe again. And so from that aspect and everything that we did for this man right here, I give you guys kudos and everything else to help me push this man to the limit to where he wants to be. To you, Dana, yes, you guys both left, but you're still family.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, props to you for moving on and doing stuff to go what you want to do and beyond.
Right.
Thank you. You sound like you're very successful in what you do for your company.
Mm-hmm.
You're successful in what you do in painting and spiriting everybody else's ambition to do what they want to do, to go on and be an artist, to be whatever they want, because you're a free willing spirit. And everybody sees your artwork out there in the world in Southwest Michigan.
Thanks.
And everything else from there. And to you, everybody sees how you are. Yes, for what you do, from everything else, from serving drinks to be who you are, to be the Allstate guy and everything else in the life. You are the man, the myth, and the legend of the podcast.
All that cool shit you just said went down.
It'll never go down, because
That's just
for me, is the bottom of my heart, from all you guys are all family in my life.
You guys are all family.
All right, man. Hell yeah. All right, that leaves it up to me now. All right, guys.
Let's hear it, Jerry.
Hey, love all three of you guys, man. You guys been great friends through the years. I appreciate you guys very much. I'm gonna go back to the 3 P's again. You know, yeah, I do. Always have that peace of mind. Number one, that gives you that purpose and that drive to do something that you want to be great at. You guys are all doing great stuff. You're all doing great stuff.
Thanks, man.
Dude, you're traveling. I see the look on your face in the pictures. That's traveling, man. You guys look like you're having a good time.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Eric, I see you do all the work you're doing around the area. Dude, you're doing great work. And when I found out that you did Czars going down the stairs, dude, I saw that is amazing. And then you did it downstairs too. Even down to that Thanos picture of me. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Huh? You over there whispering. Anyway, Joe, dude, the drive that you have for this podcast is unprecedented. It can't be matched. And I appreciate you for everything you've done for me, brother. Now, for myself, I'm going to continue to do whatever it takes to make this podcast to be something that can't be matched around this area. And I want to take it even further than that. Zach, thank you again, brother. I want to thank you for helping me out, man. You came through in the clutch when I didn't, especially like today. I'll help you, Jay. I'd be honored to help you.
That's why we're the best in Southwest Michigan.
There you go. But and I want to thank all the people that watch us and support us outside of this. This has been a great boost to my own, not ego, but just my own
confidence level.
Yeah, confidence level. I didn't think I could do it at one point. I was just being hard on myself, and not only I was in the wrong place for it. And we won't go into that.
I remember how awkward you were in the first one.
Yeah.
We were all
make fun of
awkward,
James
really.
Yeah.
Not even the first one. Even talking about it, him pushing me to do it, that was the most awkwardness.
Yeah. I was in a bad place at one point.
No, the very first episode was awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
How are we gonna do this? Where's he gonna record?
But just getting through all that, it was baby steps. It was all baby steps, and it's
Look at us now.
great steps that put us in the position where we're at now. Guys, the year's almost over, and we've been on a tremendous ride. For those that are watching, we have that Q&R code on the screen. Please buy coffee and support the group. It'd be great.
Next week we got Brandon Rock.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Brandon. Yeah,
The lead singer, the former
lead singer of Ultrafab.
Of Ultrafab.
And he's going to be fun to listen to. For 50th episode, guys, I appreciate everybody showing up, everybody watching, even if you haven't watched the live show. Thank you very much, guys. Third Eye Truth Theorem Podcast is still continuing. Episode next week, 51. All right, for all those that helped out, guys, thank you very much for showing up. Zach, tremendous over there, brother. Keep that bad boy rolling. Don't cut it off yet. I'm about to play the exit. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. We're out. Yeah. Now. Oh, I hit the wrong way. All right. right, here we go, guys.